Hi, this is Ronnie, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the telephone game YouTube hop, round 4. This game slash hop is so much fun. Vanessa Bell sent me her layout, and it's the one you see here, and it is so cute. And she uses stars in there, and I'm going to use some stars in mine too. I like stars anyway, but I've got these pictures of Luke, and he's dressed as a cowboy. He does not have a star on, for a sheriff or anything, but I'm going to go with it anyway, and I'm going to use stars on my layout. Her layout had 2 layers. It had a frame like around the inner layer, and the inner layer was a pattern paper, but I'm going to use a vanilla cardstock. And I'm also using antique linen here to go around the edge, and then I'm going to distress it with that. Over to the right, you can barely see it, close to my heart distress tool. But, like I said, I used antique linen. I am going to end up, when I go to put it on the yellow cardstock, pattern paper, when I go to put it on there, you can't even tell it's on there hardly. It had like little off-white dots on it, and that's the only thing it seemed to affect. It didn't affect the yellow. So I will change to tea dye. And this shows up pretty good here, but it kind of starts to fade out. So I end up putting it on here too. But I'm just going to glue this down with liquid glue. And that way, I've got a little wiggle room for being crooked, and it always ends up crooked no matter how much wiggle room I have, but I go with that too. She had like 3, 4 layers underneath her picture. I think one was like the matting for her picture, and then 3 more. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm matting these are the mats for my picture. And I'm going to do both of them. I'm inking them and distressing them. And I'm still sticking with the antique linen all the way up till I get on that yellow piece of paper right there. And I am going to try to cut these where my 2 pictures can fit in there pretty good. And see, that one there is way too big because it was gutted from the other piece of paper. And I'm going to cut it down. And I think I end up laying kind of off just a little bit, because I'm looking at my layout now, and I looked at the picture just now, and I kind of think I got one layer a little different from hers, but I did get close. I mean, I got better than the last time on the YouTube layout hop. I forgot the paper last time, but I do have paper this time, and I counted them when I looked at the picture. So I'd remember it, and I remember there was 3 clusters, so I'm going to make sure I have 3 clusters. And also a frame. She had a frame in hers. I made mine too narrow, really. I went to there. I had that punch thing, and I'm going to make it with that punch. We are member keepers punch. And here I will move it where you can see it a little bit in just a second. But see, I just left it the way it was the last time I used it, and it was kind of on the narrow side. And I did cut this part out. I had to go find another blade to put in there. I don't know where the one that was in there went to. It's probably in the bottom of the drawer, and I seen the other punch board first, and it was the file folder one, and they fit each other, so that was good for me. I didn't have to keep looking. Yeah, here's where I decide that I do not need something that light, and I will switch over, but since it was just inking, I went ahead and cut that out so y'all wouldn't have to watch all that, because my video's a little bit on the long side anyway. They seem to get that way pretty much lately. I'm not sure if I'm getting slower with the older I get or what. I took a pencil and I marked the edges of where that was at because I didn't want to cut too much and then my yellow just kind of fall through. I wanted to make sure that I had some out in case I needed it, but I also wanted to make sure I had enough to cover it up. And I did distress all those pieces, and that's why you see me wiping the paper off just now. But I'm going to start placing my layers on here now. And when I bought this paper, I bought it because my daughter, 2 grandsons, and myself had gone to one of those escape rooms. And the one that we escaped from was the childhood bedroom of a serial killer. Yeah, so every time I use this paper now, I think of a childhood bedroom of a serial killer because it was all grungy and yucky, in there. I mean, that everything looked old, like it was a long time ago that he had lived there. But yeah, I think of that every time I use this paper now. But today I'm going to use it for a little cowboy. And when I went to put these on here, I picked the wrong one up to put the foam tape on, because I planned on putting the one without the mask on the top, and have it on the foam tape. But then I picked the wrong one up. You can see right there, I adhered the other one down, and I don't notice it until I get ready to lay this one down. And then I thought about switching out. I thought, man, I'd have to take all that foam tape off of there. And, well, his face is kind of blurry. It's not very sharp in that picture. And I thought you could probably, see it better in the other, because it is sharp. Even with the mask, you might be able to tell it is better with the other one. So I just went ahead and left it. I am going to the ephemera now, because I'm going to want to use some of this. I will use a piece that says, "To this day, I have the most fond memories of some of my old toys, Michael Keaton." And since Luke's grown, I thought, well, this would be a good one to use this on, since he is grown, so he might have fond memories of the toys that he had when he was little. So I might as well use it on here, because like the other layout, I scrapped my grandson, and he's only 5 years old. So yeah, I was using pictures for him, so they really wouldn't go on his as good, but it is going on this one. I end up covering a lot of that yellow up. I probably could have just cut it off in half. There's just like a teeny tiny bit showing on the left hand side below the bicycle. I mean, a really small place. And yeah, I could have cut it off and saved me some of the yellow. It had layering on the layout, because I remember thinking layers of stuff and lots of stars there. I won't have as many stars as she had. I think her stars was bigger too. So I will, before the layout's over, end up making one star that's bigger by doing some layering on one. But yeah, she had some really nice big stars on hers. And I decided I was going to use that viewfinder wheel no matter what. It's got little tiny pictures all over it, but I thought it'll give me something round, and everything else is rectangles and squares except for the stars. So yeah, I thought I'd add some shapes. And see that one that's right there with the harlequin looking things on it? Yeah, that one. I'm going to use the other part somewhere else. But by the time I get it laying here, you can't even tell that it's got, I think it's called a top note shape of the whole thing. You can't even tell it by the time I get that little boy on there and everything glued down. All you can tell is the pattern of the paper. And I'm looking here and I'm debating which one that I'm going to have for my title. But I'm going to end up using Let's Play. And see that yellow one right there? I'm going to end up putting it on quickly, because I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, man, I'd like to just stop the video and straighten it. But no, I'm going to wait till I'm done. And that blue thing I just put on there, I don't know what it is. If y'all know, put it in the comments below, because I couldn't figure out what it was. So I decided to layer it, since I couldn't. Give me some colors and something else in the layer. And I am going to put an arrow on it. But it says, "Dirt, mud, trains, and toys. There's nothing like little boys." And I thought that'd be cute to go there. And I play with this a little bit, trying to get it straight. And I think the reason I couldn't get it straight now is because my little yellow tag, or whatever that is crooked. And so I'll probably have to do it all over again when I get to it. When I was planning on using these pictures for my layout, I had the plan for the title to be, "Cowboys don't take baths, they just shake off the dirt." However, that's a pretty long title, and this is for the telephone YouTube layout hop, so I better stick with a shorter title. And I moved it anyway. She had hers over underneath the picture, and mine's going to be on the right, so I thought I better stick with a little title, or they'll think it all needs to have a long title. And that one would be long. This is a piece of paper that I gutted earlier, and I'm just going to make a little banner there. I wanted to add some of that pattern down there. And so yeah, I thought, well, I can just put a banner And I thought about getting my punch and doing another circle of some sort, but then I noticed that ball on that little dirt and mud thing. I did pull out my Tim Holtz tiny attacher and put a staple in that, just because I like staples in my banners. And that orange cardstock, I guess I left it in there from the last layout that I did, but when I seen it, I thought, well, that's handy. It goes really well with the orange that's in this collection. And there isn't a whole lot of orange, but it is here and there and there. And so, yeah, I used it to punch out some more stars. I know I punched those really colorful ones out earlier, but I'm not going to end up using them. The striped ones, I just didn't care. They didn't show up that good, and I didn't care for them that much. However, I am going to use the largest one, and that's the one I'm going to end up layering to make a bigger star up there in the cluster on the top. I do have some stitched stars, and I could have pulled them out and used it, but, you know, they were dies, and punches are so much quicker, so I just grabbed the punch and did it. But I like these with it. If I'd used bigger ones with all the other stuff that I have here, it might not have worked out as well anyway. So I do like how it ended up, except for that crooked little yellow dirt mud thing. And see, I'm working on straightening the arrow. And if I had noticed the other thing was crooked, I might not have had to straighten those so many times. Oh, I'm still inking on the stars. And once I get all them down, that's when I'll be working on the cluster at the top. And then I'll be done. This will be the end of my layout. And you guys can go check out, I think there's 3 hops going for YouTube and having videos. And then the rest are on Instagram. And yeah, I think there's like 3 groups on Instagram too. So you can look at a lot of layouts for the YouTube telephone layout hop. Oh, here I'm putting my splatters on. See how neatly I did those? I wanted to make sure I had some that was a little bit bigger and a little bit darker. And this is Powder Blue by Mr. Huey. And I like it pretty good. It goes really well with this paper. And some of it, when you put it on, what I like about it, some of it will dry darker if it's got more of the blue there, and then some of them will be lighter. So you've got a variety of actual colors there from your splatters. And here's where I put that largest star on. I put it first on the yellow, and then I'm going to turn around and put it on the orange and have it layered up there. And I'm also going to pull out a chipboard piece, and it's Playtime, and then we'll put 3 more stars up there because this needs a little something else. And so, yeah, I'll put the 3 stars up there. But I did remember the 3rd cluster. I thought, oh, man, it had 3 clusters. So, yeah, I caught myself doing it. The whole time I was doing the layout, I was thinking, this is so much like, not the last hop I was in, but the one before, like that layout, because it had the pictures to the left and then a bigger cluster than what I got here on the bottom right, and it didn't have a 3rd cluster, and so that's why I forgot it for, well, a few minutes, not very long. I did forget it for a little bit, but yeah, when I'm done with that, I am going to be done with my layout. So I will put the link to the next person, and the next person will not have theirs till tomorrow. Theirs won't be going live or being uploaded or scheduled till tomorrow. So you have something to watch every day. And I think there's like 3 more people after me: Hannah, Lisa, and Rachel. Yeah, I think that's who's after me. And then, like I said, there's 3 more groups doing it. So you've got plenty to look at. But this collection is really cute. If you weren't thinking about serial killers when you're doing it. There's my in layout. And, oh, I did straighten that while ago. Yeah, I had to stop the video for a few minutes. And before I started back up, I straightened that yellow thing. And see how the one's darker than the others? That's what I like about the Mr. Huey's. A lot of times you can do that where some are darker than others. And there again is the one with the little boy with the tricycle. And yeah, if he'd had a horse. But, you know, I like tricycles too, so I thought it was pretty cute. But thank you all so much for watching. If you leave a comment below, I'll get back with you. If you like the video, and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a happy, scrappy week. Bye.